Let's talk about Persona. Persona is one of the most loved RPG franchises in the world. Originally a spin-off of the Shin Megami Tensei series, Persona has overshadowed it several times to the dismay of SMT fans. The latest installment of the Persona franchise, Persona 5, came out to universal praise. It's stylish, it's slick, the music slaps, the combat is fun, the Persona capturing system is not dumb. Persona 5 is an excellent game and it deserves the praise that it's gotten over the years. When it originally came out, it was my favorite game of that year, tied with Nier Automata, but it's still absolutely an amazing game. But with everything you love, it's important to acknowledge its faults. And there's something that Persona 5 doesn't nail as well as it could. Persona 5's villain is a joke. Now, technically, Persona 5 has multiple villains, as each palace has to do with someone's distorted desires, and the palaces are therefore reflections of those villains, which you would think would help strengthen them and make them more interesting, but no, not really. Like, we definitely learn stuff about the villains, but they're still mostly just Saturday morning cartoon villains compared to the other threats in the Persona series, which sucks, because they talk about a lot of serious shit in this game. This goes all the way to the top for the big bad guy, Shido. Shido is a corrupt politician using his knowledge of the metaverse to manipulate the political sphere by killing people who get in his way. He literally murders people with the funny Persona area. Yet, what do we actually know about Shido? What connection do we, the player, have to Shido? Joker has a connection to him as he was the one who got him expelled and sent to live in a cafe and meet all of his cool friends and have a good year in the city. If anything, we should be thanking him. While it does definitely fit the themes of the game, having them be a politician who uses their influence to get what they want, versus the rebel phantom thieves changing hearts of those shitty adults. But, like, I don't care about this villain. I have no reason to hate him. I have no reason to connect with him. He's not even the most evil character in the game. He's literally killing people and going to let people die in the streets while him and his friends make money. I live in England. That's been politics for the past 10 years. But what about Akechi? Akechi is fine. He's pretty underdeveloped, and the game really did a shit job of hiding the big betrayal twist with the fact that they are one of the only characters with a story-specific social link. They're the last person to join your party while still being a cop, and the fucking pancakes. This game may have had more problems than I thought. There's definitely room for improvement with this, and I think we can all agree on that. But Persona villains have always been kind of crap. Well, yes, but no, definitely not. This is probably going to ruin the video a little bit, but I've only played Persona 4 and 5. I can explain! Persona 3 and Persona 3 FES are extremely hard to get your hands on over here in the UK. I have one friend who has a copy of FES, but they're not willing to share it with me, and I'm going to pretend like sailing the 7 seas isn't an option. Same with Persona 1 and 2, but the second game had Hitler in it, so we're not going to get a better villain than that. Persona 4, though, I know that game very well. If you don't want to be spoiled for Persona 4, you need to go leave now because you have 3, 2, 1... Alright, cool, let's talk about Adachi, baby! Best fucking villain ever! Woo! Women hate him, he hates everything. Marriage is where fun goes to die. He says that to a fucking child. Persona 4 does a better job of balancing the mysteries of the story much more than Persona 5 does, with the main one being who's shoving people into the TV. Inaba is a small town, so it's able to create a compelling murder mystery by putting all of the pieces right in front of you and having you figure it out. Persona 4 and Persona 4 Golden have different flaws when it comes to hiding the mystery, but Golden definitely does a better cover-up of it. Originally, Adachi was the only recurring character to not have a social link. The hope was that players would just see him as a background accessory until they put the pieces together in their mind and figured it out. However, this kind of backfired, with him being the only main character to not have a social link. He becomes a bit more suspicious. Once he gets one in Golden, however, the Jester has the same number on the Arcana as the Fool, and some things he says are, sus? But they do a better job of fleshing out his character. He's a loser, his home life sucked. In school, he studied and tried to get a good job, but he ended up as a 27-year-old junior detective in a backwater town with barely anyone to talk to that he can relate with. He had ambitions, but he always pushed them off, saying he wasn't good enough and needed something more stable. He isolated himself and became resentful. He wanted something to do in the town, anything to do in this damn fucking town. And that's when he was giving his powers and shoved Miss Yamado into the TV, and things suddenly got a little bit more interesting. By the time we meet Adachi, he's already redeemable. He's a literal murderer who has killed and attempts to kill over and over and over again. He's a psychopath pretending to be a well-adjusted individual, and any attempt you make to pull him out of the hole he dug himself will force him to recoil further in. Adachi is compelling because the game allows us to interact with him and get to know him over the course of the game while still having him be a piece of shit. Alright, so what's the difference between these two? Adachi gets a lot of time to be fleshed out and characterized. He shows up a lot throughout the game, and you even get to interact with him a lot in Golden. The fact that he is so normal and unassuming is used several times in the plot, and his individual quirks are shown in his social link. Shido just shows up, calls you an asshole for waiting for an elevator, and turns out to be the murderer. This game never takes time to put any character behind Shido, and it causes him to feel two-dimensional. And this is where Royal comes in. I'm gonna be honest, if Persona 5 was an 8 out of 10, Royale is like a 10 out of 10, dude. This game took all the gripes I had with Persona 5 and made them just disappear. The grinding process is brain-dead easy. The balances have been tweaked to get rid of the annoying shit. You have a grapple hook that lets you fly to different places. There's more collectibles that grant you SP. You can do more stuff on the evening after going to the palace so you don't have to fuck the teacher anymore.
What the fuck?
I already thought the combat was amazing, but they somehow made it even better with showtime attacks and baton passes powering up your abilities. It's so good, dude. If you wanted to play Persona 5, please just pick up Royale. It's just an objectively better version of the game, and that's largely in part to the new content that was added. Royale added a bunch of stuff to Persona 5 that enhanced the experience, but the main thing it added was new characters and an extra secret semester that can only be unlocked by completing the correct social links. They also changed the way Akechi's social link works so it doesn't forcefully advance through the entire game. The new characters are fan favorite Kazumi and my all-time favorite Persona character, Dr. Maruki, the school psychologist. Look at this man! Look at his drip! He got a fucking lab coat and his hair's so good! He's so cool and he's so nice! I love him! I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to be this man. When I played the game for the first time, I was completely prepared to try and look as much like him as I could. I just want to be like him, for real! His social, confidant is so good too. After the first palace, he comes to work at the school as the student's therapist and helps Joker and his friends become stronger in the brain and work through stuff.
There's also snacks.
I fucking love this man. Through these therapy sessions, Maruki is able to shine a light on the other Phantom Thieves, which helps flesh them out. And the skills that he gives you are just, oh my god, they're so good. His social link mostly focuses on you helping him complete his research and talking about the psychology of different students that come in. Honestly, I love Maruki. He's such a dumbass. It's great. Kazumi is also really cool. She appears in the starting segment of the game, so we know at some point she's going to be in the metaverse and be able to summon a persona, but we don't know when. Those social links are also really good, but there's only 5 of them. That's weird. Anyway, playing through the game, most of the main story is unchanged. It still has all the same problems as before. What the fuck, Gekko? You said it fixed everything! Why would you lie to me? But you just have to hold out as the final semester is right around the corner and it fixes everything. Originally at the end of Persona 5, Akechi eats shit and gets his ass killed, and you get arrested for the crimes for the Phantom Thieves. This is the reason the last few months of the game have no content, because you're in prison for all of it. But if you max out the correct confidant, something weird happens. During the scene where you are convinced to turn yourself in to get Shido arrested, Akechi shows up and takes your place. You get some nice cutscenes after that of people hanging out, and then you get a dream sequence. It's different from the others though. It's not in the Velvet Room, it's in the school. After a fucking weird sequence, you wake up and who the fuck is this guy? Your mom's supposed to be dead! What do you mean? Why am I dripped? I am so confused. Yeah, so people who are dead aren't anymore. Every character has had their past trauma just completely retconned. Morgana is now a human, and you're the only one who remembers. Well, apart from Akechi. Wait, Akechi's still fine? Something isn't right as always. We have a bit of a persona bullshit and finally find a new palace. The person in this must be the root cause of everything that's going on. We battle our way through from the start of the finish and we find brown-haired Kazumi? What the fuck is going on? She has red hair. Why is she calling her sister's name? Who the hell is behind all of this? You know what? Fuck it. I don't even care anymore. We get to see the big bad villain. This is gonna be sick. It's gonna be like an epic showdown. We're gonna say, nah, fuck you. Turn everything back to the way it was and... Wait. It's Maruki. No, that's not right. He's a good guy though. He helped us. He helped our friends throughout the course of the game. He gave his way to be strong in the mind. He gave us snacks. He's the bad guy? Due to the events after Shido's battle, Dr. Maruki has gained the ability to manipulate reality. He changed reality so that our friends got everything they wished they had, and bad people were punished accordingly. There is no trauma in this world. There is no injustice in this world. Bad things never happened because there are no bad people. No one feels any pain because there's nothing to grieve over. This reality is perfect, but it's fake. And this is how Persona 5 was fixed. We went from the Sunday morning cartoon villains of the previous palaces to a villain that actually has something to say for himself. Maruki isn't inherently evil. He sees what he is doing as an honest good. He's taking the worst parts of reality and getting rid of them. He's trying to take the pain away from every individual, letting them live their ideal lives so nothing bad ever happens to anyone. He just wants the world to not suffer like he has, and so many others have. Is that evil? Is that wrong? Royale forces you to actually examine what you're doing and think about these questions. If you oppose Maruki, you need a good reason to actually oppose him. You need to fundamentally disagree with his ideology of the perfect world in order to oppose him. Why am I saying you and not the characters? Because you can actually side with Maruki. There are several endings in which Maruki wins and the Phantom Thieves fail. You, the player, can accept Maruki's false reality and get an ending. But does this look like a bad ending to you? No, because it's not. You can choose to have all of your friends live out their perfect lives. You don't have to leave and go back home. Kazumi never has to confront her past. Akechi didn't have to die. Everything is perfect. The game asks you if your struggles make you stronger, if fighting through the hard times is worth it, if you should keep pushing no matter what, or if you should just give up and let everything work itself out, and you have to literally answer it. Does the game try to push you in one decision? Of course it does. You skip half the entire extra content if you decide to live in Maruki's reality, but it still lets you choose, and it doesn't punish you for choosing the other option. It's why I love this character even more. He generally just wants to help people from the start to the end of the game. He believes using his new godlike powers would accomplish that, and he's technically right. Even at the end when you call him out with the calling card, there's no bombastic display of bravado, there's no elaborate plan to hijack Tokyo Tower to let him know that you're coming. You just sit down for a conversation, and you hand him the card. Dr. Maruki is the best Persona villain. A villain that has something to say for himself. Also, get fucked, nerd! April Fools! This was a fighting game video. Oh, wait, I just made content. Well, let me know what you thought down below, and I'll see you next time.